Long before Dolly Parton became a global pop and country icon, her music was rooted in something older and simpler. The gospel hymns sung in small Appalachian churches, the kind of songs that shaped an entire region's understanding of faith, hope, and home. That connection never left her, even at the very height of her fame. On 25th August 2026, Dolly Parton died peacefully in Nashville at the age of 80. This is the story of her deep, lifelong bond with gospel music and the tributes that have poured in from across the community that shaped her earliest years. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on 19th January 1946 in Sevier County, Tennessee, one of 12 children raised in a one-room cabin in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Long before recording contracts or chart positions, gospel music was simply part of daily life, sung in small country churches, at family gatherings, and around the home. That grounding never faded, even as Parton's career expanded into pop stardom and Hollywood filmmaking. Across her decades-long career, she continued releasing gospel and Christian-themed material, work that eventually earned her induction into the Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame, recognition placing her alongside gospel music's most significant and influential figures. Perhaps nothing captures Parton's genuine, lifelong connection to gospel music quite as clearly as the song she once revealed she hoped would be sung at her own funeral. In a 2014 interview with Entertainment Weekly, Parton named "If We Never Meet Again," a Southern gospel hymn written by Albert Bromley in the 1940s. She recited some of the lyrics to the interviewer directly, explaining that the song spoke about meeting again on heaven's beautiful shore, should this life's separations be the last time paths crossed on earth. She revealed that it had been her own father's favourite hymn, sung at his funeral, and that she wanted the same for her own. The song has been recorded over the decades by numerous country and gospel artists, including Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Parton's own longtime recording partner, Porter Wagoner, placing Parton's personal request firmly within a tradition of gospel music that had shaped her family for generations. Parton also acknowledged in that same interview that her own most famous song, "I Will Always Love You," would likely be played at her funeral as well, joking that she expected the same treatment audiences had given the song following Whitney Houston's death. Even as Parton's fame grew into something genuinely global, her connection to her Appalachian roots and the faith embedded within them remained visible throughout her life and work. LeConte Lodge, a century-old lodge within the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, released a tribute following her death, describing her as an incredible ambassador for the Smoky Mountains and the people of southern Appalachia, noting that her catalogue of songs continue to echo across campgrounds and rustic mountaintop cabins. The National Park Service and the U.S. Department of the Interior echoed similar sentiments, describing the mountains as part of Parton's story, shaping the way she saw the world and praising her for never tiring of inviting new generations to discover that same mountain spirit for themselves. Among the many musical tributes that followed Parton's death, one stood out for where and how it happened. On the very night her death was announced, bluegrass and gospel-rooted artist Rhonda Vincent, who had shared the stage with Parton many times over the years, paused during her performance at the Grand Ole Opry to honour her friend directly. "This is for Dolly," Vincent told the audience, before performing a heartfelt rendition of Parton's own song Coat of Many Colours, itself a song steeped in themes of faith, humility, and a mother's love, drawn directly from Parton's own impoverished, faith-filled childhood. It was a fitting tribute, a gospel-rooted song, performed live at the literal home of country music by an artist whose own career sits firmly within the same Appalachian gospel tradition that first shaped Parton as a child. Throughout her career, Parton spoke openly and without embarrassment about her Christian faith, describing herself in various interviews as someone who prayed regularly and genuinely believed her talents were a gift meant to be shared. That faith showed up consistently across her music, her public statements, and the way she chose to frame both hardship and success throughout her life. Following her death, several tributes specifically highlighted this dimension of who she was. One prominent broadcaster's statement described her as a true woman of God, alongside praise for her talent and her warmth, language that reflected how widely her faith, not just her fame, had been recognized by those who knew her personally. Her husband, Carl Dean, who died in March 2025 after nearly 60 years of marriage, was remembered by Parton's own team as someone who built an unshakable foundation for her to return home to whenever she came off the road, a foundation that by every account was rooted in shared faith and decades of quiet, private devotion. Parton's induction into the Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame sat alongside an extraordinary list of other honours accumulated across her 6-decade career. The Country Music Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Kennedy Center Honors, and the National Medal of Arts. She won 13 ACM Awards and 10 CMR Awards, and in 1978 became the first woman ever to win CMR Entertainer of the Year entirely on her own. That breadth of recognition reflects something genuinely rare, an artist whose work resonated as powerfully within gospel and faith-based communities as it did across mainstream pop, country, and even Broadway, where she earned a Tony nomination for composing the score to the 9 to 5 musical. Dolly Parton died peacefully at a hospital in Nashville on Tuesday, 25th August 2026, according to a statement from her team. Her nephew, Brian Seaver, confirmed the news publicly, explaining that Parton had asked him years earlier to be the one to deliver it, when the time eventually came. The official statement announcing her death described her legacy simply as one of love, compassion, and resilience, 3 words that, taken together, capture much of what made her gospel-rooted worldview so central to her broader public identity. No official cause of death has been publicly disclosed. Parton had provided a health update just days before her death, telling fans in a video on 16th August that she sometimes experienced dizziness and dehydration, while reassuring them that things had gone well medically and that she remained committed to her ongoing projects. Dolly Parton's story is, at its heart, a gospel story, a journey from a one-room mountain cabin to global stardom, carried the entire way by faith, resilience, and an unshakable belief that her gifts were meant to be shared as widely and generously as possible. She asked that an old Southern gospel hymn be sung at her funeral, the same one sung for her father decades earlier. A quiet, deliberate reminder that beneath every rhinestone and every chart-topping hit, Dolly Parton never stopped being the daughter of Sevier County, Tennessee, raised on gospel songs sung in small country churches and shaped by a faith she carried, openly and proudly. Right to the very end. If this story moved you, share your favourite Dolly Parton memory in the comments and subscribe for more heartfelt stories from the world of gospel and country music.